actually two. Let me
Mm-hmm.
give you an opportunity to add as a very weak emotion, I guess, but mostly it's the dread of amassing that energy to get myself out of that house, to go to that gym, to go think of what I'm supposed to do today. Is it leg day? Is it weight? Is it then the subsequent uh, emotion that comes with the dread is the fear of lacking consistency because I think I'm one who, when I don't really enjoy an activity, sometimes I don't feel like I'm very motivated to do it, even though I know I have to. Not I want, it's a need, I have to. As you all mentioned, lifestyle decisions are here with us, they're up and rising, and so we have to equally match up with
Mm-hmm.
the quick ways of how they are occurring nowadays. But even with that full knowledge and awareness, I still find myself still thinking twice and thrice and yeah, so the fear of lacking that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I began with dread, then fear, then the uncertainty of what am I really looking for? Because is it discipline? Is it food? I okay. I mentioned earlier I used to do comfort feeding, but that has changed with
Mm-hmm.
me. So the uncertainty is always what am I working towards? And I'm not big on trying to look for a trainer
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that I'm following a certain. I tried that once. It was an epic fail. I have not done it again. So the uncertainty is what am I trying to look for? Even when I know for sure, even though I'm not to gain weight or lose weight or at least tone, I know I'll be delaying the onset of the lifestyle disease. But even that still, there's that emotion for uncertainty lingering on. So yeah, I guess that's available to respond.
Okay. Thank you, Rose, for sharing that. I've picked fear and the uncertainty. Now, you see, when I started exercising, let me give an example. I started when I can check. Let me check. I think it's a month plus. This week it's a bit easier for me than the past weeks because now my brain is starting to register this is the new norm. Sometimes we give up too soon. You go exercise 1 month, you tell yourself, I've exercised 1 month, I've not lost weight. Anyway, I let me give myself a break. But there's one thing that we should always be very sure. Any new thing that you're doing, you will have that uncertainty. Any new thing or new habit that you're introducing in your life, that nervousness, that fear will always be there. And Rose, let me say this, consistency doesn't build in one day. You build consistency, you fall, you build, you fall, you build, you until you build. So I won't tell you because I'm a trainer or anything that no, I didn't get that consistency with one day. I used to hike for years. So that consistency is not something that someone just builds with one day. Yes, study shows 21 days, but you can do 21 days and still relapse. And still, your brain is telling you to go back to the normal, to the comfort zone. So, first thing is let's accept that feeling. You know that feeling, nannies? That note it down every time. That feeling, note it down. Jotham, how are you?
I'm very okay.
Jotham,
I'm very okay.
okay.
I was in your neighborhood.
Oh, okay. I know. I understand. Okay.
Yeah, there's a great neighbor of yours who engaged me afternoons.
That
But
neighbor, tell him to keep time next time.
yeah, now I'll harass him next time I visit him. I'll tell him I
Okay.
have to earlier.
Okay. Let me ask you. when you hear the word procrastination, hope you've started recording.
Yes, yes, it's recording.
Okay, thank you. Now, when you hear the word procrastination, what feeling is it associated with in your life?
In my life, there's that feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You say, now I want to read this book,
Mm-hmm.
but I can play Candy Crush. Candy Crush can give me more satisfaction
Mm-hmm.
than that book. Or rather than reading that book, I can
Mm-hmm.
watch a comedy. Yes,
Mm.
yes. If I watch comedy, it will give me
Mm-hmm.
some satisfaction than doing what I intended to do.
Now,
So
you
now that,
see, mhm,
yeah.
when
So
you're
that's
watching that comedy or playing that Candy Crush, you're running away from something. What
yeah.
are you running away from?
I don't want to strain my brain. I want
Uh-huh.
something that the brain will feel relaxed.
Something
Yeah.
familiar, something normal,
Yes.
something you
Yeah.
used to. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you procrastinate because of boredom, because you feel that task that I'm going to
Mm,
do is so
mm,
boring, like reading that book. I have a very weird book I'm reading, and I read a page a day and I feel already bored. But because I know
mm,
it's important, I push myself. Now, when that boredom comes in, you tell yourself, let me just take a break. That's where we talked about signal versus noise. Let me just take a break. Then you realize the break is taking longer than you expected.
mm.
Now, sometimes people think I'm procrastinating, I'm not being productive, maybe because I'm lazy. It's not lazy. It's the fear, it's the overwhelmed, it's the wanting things to be perfect. Now, Lillian, when we were discussing, you mentioned something to do with finances and time and things in the box. Most of the times, when we wait for all the things to tick in a certain box, we don't achieve anything. So, I was waiting for these slides to show you that you're not lazy. It's just that you've not taken the first action, which is starting. And if you keep waiting for you to have the 100% time and 100% resources, then you will not take any action. That's where now the perfectionism comes in. Then there is the low confidence, there is emotional exhaustion. The behavior may be visible, but the emotion underneath may not be. So it's always every time you feel you're procrastinating something, what is the emotion underneath? And this is what I'm talking about. Procrastination is the tip of the iceberg, but then there is the emotional underneath. You tell yourself, I don't know how because it's a new thing. I don't know where to start or how to start. You tell yourself, I don't have all the things in the box. That's perfectionism. You tell yourself, I'm going to hate it. Like Nani saying, I have to exercise again. That boring thing. No. And I will I really lose weight? You tell yourself, I'm feeling overwhelmed. You tell yourself, someone is making me do it, or I'm not capable, or it's pointless, or I'm afraid. I don't know where to start. I'm confused. I don't feel like it. It's boring, like Jotham is saying. Feeling distracted. I'm afraid to fail. Feeling unprepared. It will take too long. That is me when I'm preparing a very huge presentation. It will take too long. Once you tell yourself it will take too long, once I know my mind is starting to tell me that, I sit on my desk and I just look at that laptop and I start doing something. Once I do the first slide, I'll do the next and the next and the next. So the the difficult part is the first action. We've talked about procrastination and about things that we've been putting away. Let's delve a little bit. on self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is when your thoughts, emotions, or behaviors interfere with your own goals and progress. The key word is thoughts, emotions, or behaviors. The other thing is these things interfere. So you really want something important too, or you really want a certain growth, but something within you keeps pulling you backwards. That something within you is what is sabotaging you. As we were starting today, I told Lillian, we are our worst enemies. You are your own worst enemy. Because you know deep down what is good, but you keep pulling yourself backward. Now, the inner critic, you see this person pointing fingers at now you, that is your inner person telling you. You tell him, oh, you know what, I want to succeed. But he tells you, you really, what if you fail? What if people will judge you? What if success changes your life? So procrastination is a conflict between what you want and what you fear. And this inner critic is what now sabotages your growth. You tell yourself, I need to exercise. What if I don't exercise? You may procrastinate because failure would feel painful. So your mind tells you, if I never start, I never have to fail. But there is another kind of failure, which is a bigger one. Never giving yourself the opportunity to try. If you tell yourself, if I never start, I never have to fail, you put yourself in that comfort zone. Once you stop giving yourself the opportunity to try, you live a life of regret. Now, there's something quite strange with self sabotage and procrastination. Sometimes we fear success. Yes, you may be wanting success and what a successful thing brings, but you find you're fearing that success. Why? Because success may bring more responsibility, more visibility, more expectation, more change, fear of losing what you've achieved, fear of even losing who you are, because success will morph you into something you're not. So sometimes people sabotage what they want because they are afraid of what comes after getting it. You want to maybe pursue a career abroad, but you're so afraid of what comes after getting that career. Why do we have the fear of success then? It stems from our mind, where you feel you're bored. You that new thing is boring. The old thing looks more enticing. And your brain is so used to the new normal. Now, I want each and every one of us to tell me, between fear of failure and fear of success, which are you more afraid of? Are you afraid of avoiding mistakes? When we talk about fear of failure, there's avoiding mistakes and judgments, there's procrastinate and overthink, there's feeling shame or inadequacy, there's avoiding starting big. Then, fear of success, there's worries about responsibility, you sabotage your growth, you feel guilty or unworthy, you hold back from achieving your goals. Let's start with nannies.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I think I tend to be more of fearing the fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Why are you saying so? You give us an example.
Yes, because I think I mentioned in our first class
Mm-hmm.
the way I I put my masters on hold
Mm-hmm.
because of the many corrections I received.
Mm.
So that
You want
one,
to avoid mistakes.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me feel and that issue of overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I think there are so many things like in my life when I look back after looking at all this, and
Mm-hmm.
also avoiding starting big goals.
Mm. Give
Yeah,
us a good example.
a good example.
Mm-hmm.
I've one of my aunties has always been like all online telling me, nannies, I know there is a lot that you can do
Mm-hmm.
with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
I can process your visa and you go to the US. You
Mm.
come, I'll and I'm like, me? No. I start
So you are
this.
the person I was talking about.
So
Okay.
that is me. That is me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been, I think that's why I'm saying that fear of failure and that issue of perfectionism.
Mm.
Now, if I feel there is shame, what if it doesn't work?
Mm-hmm.
Let me not even start it.
Mm.
Yes, other than starting and then I make the mistake
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Okay. Before you end your response, Nanis,
Yes.
avoiding starting big goals. What emotion or feeling is it attached to you starting big goals?
First, I feel, am I ready for this?
Mm.
Can I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the questions that ring in my mind. This is too big for me.
This is too big for me.
Yes.
I want you to start a new activity. I don't know if you have a mirror in a strategic location in your house.
Yes. That one, it's there.
The word is strategic, where you can look at yourself every day. When Viola Davis was facing abuse in marriage, it affected her ability and her self esteem to an extent she was like, can I really? Even when she was called for gigs, she doubted herself. Can I really do this? Until the moment she started looking at herself in the mirror. Now, what does looking at yourself in the mirror do is giving yourself a reflection. Now, it's not just looking at yourself in the mirror. You have to keep telling your mind, I can do this. So, have a sticky note or whatsoever you want to write or a flashcard. Post it in that strategic mirror. You see that strategic mirror? Luckily for me, mirrors in this house, they are all over. That strategic mirror, and every time you wake up, I'm happy and I'm ready for this day. I can do this. I can achieve what I set myself to do. What you're trying to do is reprogram your brain. Simple as that. Yes, let's go to Lillian. Between fear of failure versus fear of success, what affects you the more?
Fear of failure.
Mm-hmm. Explain to us.
What most of them actually I resonate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like delaying and just overthinking because
Mm.
I make mistakes or I don't want to be judged. Like for example, did I make the right decision?
Mm-hmm.
Am I prepared for this the right time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Jordan, between fear of failure and fear of success, which affect you the more?
I mean, fear of failure.
Tell us something.
So, at times I want to start off for an activity,
Mm,
and I'm looking at it. Most of the things I've done that have been
mm,
success.
mm,
What if I start off this new thing, and
mm-hmm,
along the way I don't have resources to complete that activity? How
mm,
will people look at me? How will
mm.
people start talking about me?
Judgment.
Yes, yeah. So in that case, I have to be sure. I have to analyze the risks
Mm-hmm,
before I get in. I must confirm the risks that are involved in,
mm-hmm.
and be sure that if I get in, I'm going to win.
Okay.
If yes, if I start that activity, I'm very
Mm-hmm.
sure that I'm going to complete it.
But most of the time you don't win.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I find myself now stuck in analysis paralysis.
Okay. Jordan
Because
is
I analyze and analyze and analyze. So by the time I
analysis
want,
paralysis is a symptoms of perfectionism.
yes,
Okay.
so yeah, so
Mhm.
I've analyzed. By the time I'm now want to give my input, it's time bad.
Okay, let me say this
Hmm.
before I no, let me first ask Rose. Rose, what's the difference for you between fear of failure and fear of success? What affects you the more? Yes, Rose. Rose, are you here with us? Rose? Okay. She's not able to. Okay, she has joined, she has left, she has joined. Okay, she will tell us once you're ready, Rose. So, fear of failure versus fear of success. Jotham, you are saying something about analysis paralysis. What does
Yeah.
analysis paralysis do? Because I've noticed a lot of us here find your brainstorming too much, something you would just start.
Practically,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, there's a job opportunity.
Mm,
From perception, from the job description they have given, work experience, I feel I'm the best match.
mm,
But now I start now analyzing what if I send this application, then
mm-hmm,
now they will ask me to go and get a clearance from help. I have to get clearance from CRB, and all those clearances will have a cost connotation to it. Then
mm-hmm,
eventually, if implemented, I've spent some money, invested their money. Then
mm-hmm,
I'm not the best candidate, or I'm
mm-hmm,
not the person who has been chosen. So I feel that I'll have lost that money to get those clearances and not get that job.
mm-hmm.
So
And
such
you,
as
so,
uh,
so you end up not even applying for the job.
yes, yes, or say I'll
Even,
apply the last
even if
minute.
they never asked you about the documents, you've already, as
Yeah,
in what you're doing is you've already become the lawyer and the judge, and you've
yeah,
given a verdict. for
Yeah.
something that has not even happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
let's proceed. Welcome, Susan. How are you doing? Perfectionism often sound like I'll start when everything is ready. Lillian, am I talking to you? I will start when everything is ready. But sometimes perfectionism is simply fear wearing a sophisticated outfit. It's just fear that is masquerading or masking itself in things like preparing, you keep planning, you keep waiting, but you never do it, you never begin. Now, there's this trap of I will start tomorrow. How many tell ourselves that? Anyone, nannies? Do you tell yourself I'll start tomorrow?
Yes, many times.
Why do you tell yourself you will start tomorrow?
Uh, Honestly speaking, I can't tell.
Has your tomorrow ever come?
Sometimes it comes after a month.
Okay. Lilia,
It's
have you ever told yourself I'll start tomorrow?
Many times.
Okay. Why do you tell yourself why tomorrow and not today?
To relieve myself of pressure.
Oh, tomorrow has no pressure. Okay, good. Susan, do you tell yourself I'll start tomorrow? Susan has left. Rose, are you in a position to talk? Okay. Jotham, do you tell
Yeah.
yourself I'll start tomorrow?
It's very few instances that
Mm-hmm.
I tell myself to start tomorrow. But in
Mm-hmm.
most instances, if there's something I have to undertake, I start right away. Unless that thing being, there are people, there are forces, external forces. Right now,
Uh-huh.
if you tell me you can do A, B, C, D,
Uh-huh.
then I'll be giving a second thought. But if it came from within, I know once I rise up and I know now how to do A, B, C, D, I get into it immediately.
Okay. Now, the trap of I'll start tomorrow is because most of the times we tell ourselves tomorrow feels safe. Then tomorrow has no pressure. Tomorrow gives you hope. But if every day becomes tomorrow, you may spend years waiting for your life to begin. Let me use this analogy. Sometimes we tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I finish my degree. I'll be happy when I do my masters. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I have children. I'll be happy when my children will go to college. I'll be happy when I build my retirement home. I'll be happy when I have money in the bank. I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. Do you think that person will ever be happy? Lillian, do you think that person will ever be happy?
No.
Thank you. Now, these are the self sabotaging thoughts. I like us dealing with the thoughts because the thoughts are the building blocks for our emotions and behaviors. Now, the thoughts come camouflaging themselves as fear of failure, boredom, negativity, staying in the comfort zone because today feels uncomfortable, so I'll start tomorrow. Then there is the self criticism, the inability to control, the imposter syndrome. You, how do I even, I'm looking for the right word. You feel if I'm doing this, will I be up to the task? Then there is the self doubt. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. Is it too late? What if I fail? People will laugh at me. You've not even applied for the opportunity, but you're already seeing people laughing. I'll do it when I feel motivated. Your thoughts can become good instructors. Good. Yani, your thoughts have a very good way of instructing you the way forward, but they are very poor masters. They cannot. If you tell your thoughts, I want you to think on the positive, you start thinking on the positive. But if you let your thoughts take control and take reign, they are very poor masters. Your brain loves immediate reward, immediate pleasure over future rewards. Watching one more video feels good now. Starting your business may benefit you months from now, but you tell yourself, I'll start it when I am ready. Will you reap the benefit? No. This is why discipline often requires doing what is important, even when it is not immediately rewarding. So, what are we picking up today? It doesn't have to be rewarding for you to do it. It doesn't have to be immediately rewarding. I'm getting the results. It's like waking up and going to the gym, exercising 4 hours. You think after you exercising 4 hours, you lose 5 kgs. You're lying to yourself. You may lose that 5 and go back and gain 10. So even if it is not rewarding, you still build what? The consistency. The emotional payoff of procrastination. How many of us feel relieved? Susan, let me ask you, when you push something forward, how often do you feel relieved? Susan? Okay, Nanis, when you push something forward, like the way you've been, how does that relief feels for you?
I'd say I'll just the anxiety reduces for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
but then the next day,
Mm-hmm.
actually, the mind it's like gets tired,
Mm.
and when I avoid, actually, it makes me feel better.
Mm.
Like staying in the computer and doing those applying, I don't know for what, those visa, it feels I should not start now. And then I feel good that I'm able to go, and I love reading, so I better read this book now and avoid applying for those things. Actually, I may not even pass that interview. So why should I even bother? So I feel that relief. But then the next day, the mind will remind me, Nanis, you have not done this. So that's exactly what happens to me.
This is the cycle. You have that task, and then the emotion. You feel bored. Let me just pick the book. You avoid doing the important task. You get the temporary relief. Then you're filled with guilt. Then you avoid the task altogether. Yes, Susan. Welcome. Susan,
Yes,
how are you today?
I'm fine. Sorry, I'm coming in late. I'm closing school, so I'm in, out. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. So, you are you in a position to talk, or you're in a crowded place?
I'm in a place where I can't talk.
It's okay then.
I don't have to follow.
Okay. Now, we're talking about relief, and procrastination gives you what I call temporary relief. You avoid the the task, the anxiety reduces. You feel, now I'm feeling better. The brain learns avoiding this made me feel better. So you find yourself every time there's a task that is uncomfortable, even though it's important and it's not going to give you an immediate payoff, you do the same cycle. You avoid, the anxiety reduces, you procrastinate. Now, it's very important to understand where to break the pattern of this cycle of relief. Before you go to the feeling the relief, that's where now the signal versus noise comes in. You see, nannies, when you tell yourself, let me read this book instead of applying for the visa, it might be denied anyway. You see, when you read that book, you've gone away from the signal, even though reading the book is important. Reading the book was not the priority and the importance it was required. So you can just tell your mind, you know what? I know I am supposed to read the book, but let me just finish this, or let me read the book in 10 minutes. Then you see your brain will start to catch up. And the anxiety actually will reduce because you've told your brain, no, relax, I'm coming to satisfy you just in a moment. Now, one thing with relief, it doesn't last long. The task will still be there. You may experience guilt, shame, anxiety, self-criticism, reduced confidence, and eventually you may start believing, I can never be consistent. I want you people to have this picture. I don't know if you can get it. I think I got it on Google. Have this picture. Every time you feel like procrastinating, look at this picture and tell yourself the relief is just what? A temporary thing. You see, it starts with the task here. Now, after you've seen the task, let me use Nani's recent example. You are applying for a visa. Okay? Now, in that process, you tell yourself, what if I'll just be denied? You know, these countries nowadays, they don't even like Africans. Why should I even apply? That is the negative emotion. Okay? Then you tell yourself, let me just read a book. You self-distract. You self-sabotage in that process. Then you push it. I'll just do it later. You feel, hey, I'm now happy. I'm stress-free. Then you wake up the next day and you are asking yourself, what did I just do? I didn't finish the application. The guilt and stress comes in. Then you start asking yourself, why am I this bad? I should have just finished. You blame yourself. Then the task which would have taken 10 minutes, it takes 10 years to finish. Just have this picture in mind. It will keep haunting you. Let me use the word haunt. Now, self-criticism make it worse because once you've started feeling guilty, you start criticizing yourself. You've brought another picture of maybe I'm useless or I'll never finish or they will never accept me. You fuel more procrastination to what is already there. This shame becomes very painful. Then you avoid the task again and again. Let me ask you, Lillian, how many times have you ever felt, maybe I should start this project today?
Yeah, that thought normally come.
Mm-hmm. And what then thought comes after?
I go back to my cycle.
You say I will do it later, and then you go back to your normal life as if that thought has never come. Okay.
Imagine.
Imagine. No, I've said you have this red picture. This should be haunting you every time you want to procrastinate. Anyway, so protecting yourself.
Fresca, filter
Self-sabotage creeps in
jioni
as
ndio inakuwa ngumu
protecting
kupatikana.
anything. No, you feel like maybe you don't have to stand out. You don't have to take risks. If you
Sio
take risks,
kusumbuliwa, lakini
you will
sasa
make
ni
mistakes.
activities
You don't have to trust yourself. Don't expect too much. Don't disappoint people. Don't make mistakes. But now, that thing that tells you don't have to stand out may be limiting you nannies when you need to apply for that.
Thursday tutakuwa tumeenda Murang'a.
That thing that is telling you don't take risks, Rose. That thing that is telling you don't expect too much, don't disappoint people, may be the one limiting you. Okay? I want you to just think about the question behind the behavior. Instead of asking why am I lazy, ask yourself, and I'll ask you today. Let me start with Lilian. What feeling do you have when you avoid something?
I feel guilty.
You feel guilty. And what are you afraid might happen if you actually start that project?
It may not succeed as I want.
May not succeed as you want. You've already given yourself the verdict. I don't know if you have seen that, but you've already judged and given yourself the verdict and closed the case. So there's no even need for me doing it. Next one, nannies. What feeling do you have when you avoid something?
The moment I avoid, immediately there is that satisfaction that I don't have to, I am comfortable, but after some time, guilt comes in. I should have
done. There is the guilt.
Yes. Yeah, I should have done it. Now, see, time is already over. I should be doing the next thing, and this is the time I should have done all that. So I start like somehow even at times even hating myself for not doing what I was supposed to do.
Hating, that is the self-criticism.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are you afraid might happen if you actually apply for that visa? I'm just using that as an example.
One, as I mentioned earlier, is what if even I never even succeed? I'm doing all this, and then at the end of the day, it may be a wasted time. I may not even go.
Okay, what if you do not succeed? You've already given yourself verdict as well. Na niwaulize. Let me ask this question in Kiswahili. Nikuulize nani, since lini ukakuwa wewe ndio interviewer wa visa? You are not the interviewer. How sure are you? Or you are the interviewer and we don't know anyway. Jotham, What feeling do you usually have when you avoid something?
There's a sense of heroism that come in.
Uh-huh.
For instance, if I was to get out of the house,
Mm.
go and do some things, and I don't get out, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel I've conquered. I feel I'm in charge. I've made my own decision, so I feel as if there's a battle that I've won.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then after the heroism, what happens next?
Later, I'm told that thing nobody turned up to do,
Mm-hmm.
so I still have to create time and go and do it.
Mm.
Or at times, if I was to engage in an activity out of office,
Mm-hmm.
then somebody will call and say,
Mm-hmm.
I understand yesterday you were very busy. You couldn't come and do this,
Mm-hmm.
but can you schedule the time today? So you
Mm-hmm.
find that that activity just waited for me to be
Mm-hmm.
free and come and undertake it.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay. Yes, so there is that kairoism. Then
uh,
you are like nimekonka hii, nimeachana nayo, then inakuja inakufuata. It's still
yeah.
following you, so you've not even avoided it. You've just put it away for a while. Then you start asking yourself, by the way, why didn't I do it yesterday? Now I'm having to do it today, and today I had other things. Mm-hmm. Rose, tell us. Rose, are you in a position to talk?
Hi,
What
as you
feeling do you
mentioned,
usually have? Sorry?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was asking, what feeling do you usually have when you avoid something?
I guess a false sense of peace
Mm-hmm.
until the next storm of I have not necessarily done any problem solving or performed any task, and so go back to the struggle of thinking about doing the task instead of doing it. So, yeah. Mhm.
And what are you usually afraid might happen if you do that thing that you've been avoiding?
I guess, to be honest, I've never thought that far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking at where do I want to share the little energy I have to add. If I
Mm.
wake up with half a glass full, three-quarter full, I know this are the activities I want to lay down. If I dare by deviate, that's needed. The rest of the other aspects that normally require my energy to focus in and put in place, just, mm, the ball rolling. I always fear that when I redirect my attention elsewhere, the other things are going to fall apart.
Okay. Now, it's something we have noticed. Most of the times our brain gives itself verdicts. You've already given yourself verdict. As I was joking with nannies, you've already acted like the visa giver. You've already like Lillian, you've already acted like that business owner who already started and the business failed a long time ago. It's just a matter of time. But then that is a wrong way of doing things because it keeps you pulled into paralysis analysis that we were talking with Jotham. You keep jumbling along about small details that you do not do something. Now, I want to give us 1 minute each. I identify your self sabotage pattern. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do you want? And what do I do instead? What do I tell myself? What emotion am I trying to avoid? What is this behavior costing me? I just want us to do this exercise real quick. Write a question and you write an answer. Write a question and you write an answer. That is your personal question. That is your personal recovery mechanism. 1 minute each, please. I'm writing mine. Okay, I believe we should be done. Just finished. So let's proceed. Now, there is something we call motivation. Sometimes we think we need motivation to do things, but motivation is unreliable. Why? Because some days you will feel motivated and other days you will not. But action is what creates motivation. You do not always need to feel ready. Sometimes you just need to begin. Just need to take that first step. If you wait to feel ready, then you will not begin. Now, you see this picture of that person with a knife. There's that big task that you have. Think about it, that big task. I need to finish everything today. No. You see, with that big task, divide that big task into smaller, manageable tasks. Let me use an example with Lillian, with a project you're intending to start. You begin with manageable steps like, where can I put this shop here? When can I go to sightsee? You go visit. What should I do next? As in, because you already know the bigger task at hand. For example, nannies, the bigger task at hand is applying for that visa. Just say, I'll work on it for 10 minutes and then go to my other things. You will leave that table feeling a little bit relieved. And this is not relief that comes with avoidance. This is the relief that you've decided to finally take steps on it. So instead of saying, I need to finish everything today, say, I will work on this for 10 minutes, all 15 marks. Do not say, I must transform my whole life, but what is that one thing I can do today? When something is so big, it's overwhelming. But when something is subdivided into smaller units, it reduces the feeling of being what? Overwhelmed. So instead of saying, I must do the whole business, it must be running. No, just say, let me go site visit. Tomorrow, let me pay the rent. Let me fill the application. Let me practice for the interview tomorrow. Then do something else. Maybe look for evidences online of how the questions. Then you will realize something that was so overwhelming, it becomes what? It becomes manageable. Okay? Now, the 5-minute rule is for those things that you've been postponing for so long. You know them. Everybody knows what they have been postponing. I'll tell you mine. I've been doing a book on narcissism, and I finished, but I have been postponing visiting the editor and all that. Yesterday, I started engaging an editor. And I was like, let me just do this for 5 minutes. If I start getting bored, I'll leave it. Then I sat there for 4 good hours. Now, the 5 minutes rule is cheating your mind. I need 5 minutes to do this, so that you can get yourself starting, because beginning is the hardest part. And you do not need to finish everything so as to make progress. As long as you do it, as long as you start. Now, replace self-sabotage with self-trust. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, you build self-trust. Start with small promises. I'll send that email. I'll make that call. I'll study for 20 minutes. I'll send that application for 20 minutes. I'll work on my project for 10 minutes. I'll take the first step. Now, what are you doing? You're building self-trust, which in turn brings confidence. You see, confidence doesn't just come. If, for example, you want to be consistent in exercising, I'll exercise for 10 minutes. You've done that for the first day. The second day, I'll exercise for 20 minutes. The third day, I'll exercise for 25. I'll exercise for 28. I'll exercise for 30. By the end of the week, you are building confidence through evidence that if I did it yesterday, if I did it for 10 minutes, then I can do it for 20 today. I can do it for 20 tomorrow. I can do it for 25 the day after tomorrow. And once you build confidence through evidence, there is no going back. Okay? Now, today, you are not necessarily lazy. You may be afraid. You may be overwhelmed. You may be trying to protect yourself. You may have learned to avoid discomfort because new things have uncertainties, but you do not have to remain trapped in that pattern. You can start even when you don't feel ready. You can take one more step today. You can stop waiting for the perfect moment. Your life is being shaped by what you repeatedly do postpone. Now, question to everyone today. Let me start with Rose. What is that one thing you've been postponing that you will finally begin today?
Positive affirmation.
Sorry?
Positive affirmation.
Okay. Nanis, what is that one thing that you've been postponing that you will finally begin today?
Exercising.
Okay. Lillian, what is that one thing that you've been postponing that you will finally begin today?
I'll start thinking about the project, my project.
You'll start thinking that is brainstorming. First step. It's a big elephant, but anza kukula masikio.
Yeah.
Jotham, what is that one thing that you've been postponing that you will finally begin today?
There's a good book I bought for myself
Mm-hmm.
called The CEO's Diary.
Mm-hmm.
I usually walk around with it just to floss. Whenever I'm going for meetings, don't forget to carry it along with.
Uh-huh.
But I've never read it.
Why have you never read it?
I've been postponing just because I have it. Because the first thing I said, if I get that book, I'll
Mm-hmm.
surely read.
Mm.
And when I got it, I
Mm-hmm.
usually use it just to walk around and floss. And so if I go for meeting, people see this person is very serious. He's a
Mm-hmm.
CEO.
Mm.
So I'm going to start reading it. Tonight. I've actually have looked for it.
Okay. What is
Yes.
that emotion that comes with you when you're carrying that book and not reading?
No, no, just carrying it to give me some actualization. I
Mm-hmm.
feel very important.
Mm.
Yeah, it surely make me feel important, but I have not read. If somebody asks me a story about that book, I
Mm-hmm.
usually pray that nobody asks me story because there are other books that even if I don't walk around with it,
Uh-huh.
I'll find myself just citing those two and giving stories as if I was the author.
Mm.
But this your diary, I've not
Mm-hmm.
read it. I can't give the story about it.
Okay. Yeah. Now that is today I wanted us to do this in a quite different way. This is you'll see these action plans in the slides I'll share after today's meeting. Now, a 7 days journey to break the cycle. It doesn't mean you do it up to day 7 and you stop doing it. No, it means you just take action one day at a time. So today, as we conclude our today's discussion, I want it to be more of a reflective, actionable thing. Identify one thing that you've been postponing. Then ask yourself, what emotion am I avoiding? Today, just identify. Your job is to identify. Then tomorrow, tell yourself what emotion is carried with these things that have been postponed. Now, with having those things that you've been postponing, it may look like a very big elephant in the room. Break the task into one small, manageable step. One small, manageable step. Something that you can do about it. Take action just for 5 to 10 minutes. Notice one self-sabotaging thought and challenge it. That thought that keeps telling you, what if you fail? That thought that keeps telling you, you can start it and it will fail. Notice it. And you rebuke it in a way that you thought should not be a judge of the outcome because you do not know the outcome. Notice one small promise to yourself. the promises you keep. I'll exercise today for 10 minutes. Then a reflection. What did I learn about myself this week? After all this is said and done, ask yourself, what did I learn about myself this week? Because with procrastination and self-sabotage, it tells more about yourself than it tells about the task or the action. Okay, I had started with something interesting, and we discussed in length. So today, just want to give people the remaining 10 minutes. Ask something that you've been meaning to ask in these sessions and you've not been able to. We discuss in the remaining time. Yeah. Anyone with a question? A question? Lillian, any question you've been having?
No, I don't have any. I think in all the sessions, we have concluded the class when I'm satisfied, including
Okay.
today. I'm just thinking about that action plan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll make sure I do my assignment.
Okay. I'm sharing the slides in a few. Mm-hmm.
Kindly, yes.
Yes, I will.
Mm.
I'm not going to postpone. No. It always feels like such an upper hill. Okay. Rose, sorry, I wasn't able to read your messages because of the sharing. Uh, Tomorrow sounds very good all the time. The relief that comes with it is so satisfying but very short-lived. That's very true. It always feels like an uphill task, hence the procrastination. Okay, Nanis, any question for us today?
I don't have any question. Mine is just to appreciate. I've been learning a lot, and I believe even from today,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there are those things now. I will not have acquired the knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm going to put them into practice, especially that issue of procrastinating
Mm-hmm.
and the issue of that perfectionism. Yeah, I it's something that I'm reflecting on, and
Mm-hmm.
not just reflecting, but now to take action. So I really appreciate. I've seen things changing a lot, and I believe at the end of this class, I will have a big testimony, not just even questions. Until I was saying, I need a certificate for this to remind me because I know this class has changed my life. Just even if it's just, for my own putting it somewhere on my whether it's in a bedroom, just to remind me about these sessions that I have had in the topics, just for my own good.
Okay, that's
Yes.
well noted.
Yeah.
Yes, Rose, you have a question. Rose? Rose? Rose had a question, or you've shared in the chat. Let me check. Okay, how do you measure learning? I have a question. How do you measure learning having taken place as trainers, taking us through this vital training? Should our tools to measure success be similar tools for measuring success, no, they should not be similar laws, because even in class, let me give an example. There is someone who is a slow learner, there is someone who is average, and there is someone who is a fast learner. So, why do I say measuring success isn't similar? Because what to you feels, oh, am I to see immediate results? Can my results manifest long after this training? Yes, that is something I believe. Let me use an example with one of you. Nanis, I remember we had a training with you. When was it? The beginning of the year?
Yes, actually, it's not the beginning, but in the first quarter of the year.
The first quarter. It was the first quarter, I remember. And in that training, we had her and a few others. And something that you should always know is, Rose, it's not a race. Once you acquire skills, you devise practical tools that work for you. We are steering you to a certain direction, which is acquiring the skills and giving you coping mechanisms. But then, putly simply saying is, ask yourself what works for me in this training, what has worked for me, what can I pick from this training that I can actualize, that I can internalize, that will help me. I don't know if I've answered your question. I don't know if you're feeling satisfied. There's a training I was going to, kitambo kidogo sana. It was talking about communication, and it's just recently I realized how important it was, because once things are implanted in your mind will remind you something when you need to use it. So don't worry. Results, some may get results immediately, some may get results after some time, but some may get results even years later. You remember, oh, there's something called conflict resolution. And the conflict resolution was like 1, 2, 3. There's something I remember she mentioned about this procrastination, that the emotion, oh, right now I'm feeling maybe boredom. As long as it's imprinted in your mind, you will use it when your mind needs it. Okay? Yes, another question. Another question, Jotham. Can you add something based neatly?
Yes, on the last question you have just responded to, I can add something. There's
Yes.
a great philosopher called William Butler.
Mm.
So William Butler said that education is not the filling of the pail,
Mm-hmm.
but the lighting of the fire.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that when you are training, you don't struggle. That I have to make sure that my candidate, my delegate, understand everything that I have.
Mm.
But I want to create a scenario, a curiosity that this delegate can even go further and read something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, yes, as I struggle to make sure that you have understood, you have gotten everything, you might be wondering, how is this person talking about all these things? How is he talking about them confident? Where did he get all this information? How did he master all this? So you are perplexed. with the kind of information that you are sharing. So in the long run, you are not interested, you are not getting what I'm talking about. You are wondering how can you have all that information in one head, yet that head still remembers you have children, that head still remember you have a rent to pay, you have an employee to employer to satisfy, you have a house help who is giving you trouble. So you have a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
But in spite of all those things, you still have something you can share. So in that case, when you train, you just the same way we go to university and you say, now if I graduate, the following day now I should be employed in a big office because I've graduated with first class honors. And then you find that what you can do is actually to walk around with the boiled eggs in a bucket, and you take it positively. Then after a year or 2 years, we find you have opened a restaurant.
Mm.
So in that case, you may not connect what you learned, that what you learned is what has actually, the skills that you got in university is what actually has enabled you to go out and sell eggs and ultimately grow that egg business until you have opened a restaurant. There are people who are also selling eggs, but they have been on that street for long. They have never thought of opening up a restaurant. Yeah, so there are people who have been there. Yes, they have trained their children, they have taken their children to school, up to university, but they are still on those streets. They have never thought of opening up a restaurant. But for you, because you have some skills, you start off, then you are able to keep the records, you are able to follow through and apply the skills that you have acquired, then eventually open up a restaurant. After 5 years, you become a back office. You have not even seen by customers. So you are in back office just checking how many customers, where are orders, where are the things that are working. So in that case now, when you're training, you don't train to get impact the same day because we are not trying to fill in the pail. We are just trying to ignite the fire. Hopefully that assists.
Thank you so much, Jotham. Wow. Okay. Any other question? Okay, Rose is satisfied. Now, Jotham, you can finish for us our meeting. We started on time, so you who came late, I don't know.
No, so today I'm very sorry I came in late, but
Fine.
yes. Next week you are having a very interesting topic. Who
I
can
know.
guess?
Uh, no,
Who can guess the topic for next week?
they should be knowing. They just have to mention. Munira always saves the day. Today she said the network has been it has
Has
been
been on and
failing
off,
her.
yes.
Yeah, failing her. So
Nanis, what do you expect next week? Ross, what do you expect next week?
Nanny's wanted to respond.
Oh, Nanis, you are there? And Nanis, Lillian. Lillian, last week, let's start last week, you said you doubted self sabotage. Now, have you understood the self sabotage?
Yes, I have.
So you agree sometimes you can sabotage yourself.
I've been doing it actually.
Yeah. It's only that
It
you.
was Lillian and Susan. Susan was
Yeah.
also doubtful of whether she can
Yeah.
sabotage herself. So I'm waiting for the feedback next week after she's settled with school and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
so
next week
so
I look forward
uh-huh,
to.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the topic I look forward to. I'm not yet married, so I believe I will get ground rules for marriage.
No, there's no ground rules for marriage. That I can tell you for free. There's no ground rule for
It's
marriage.
like
Oh,
parenting.
yes, yes. How my marriage works and how your marriage works is totally different.
Ni kushare tu
Yes,
notes. Joseph
yes, yes.
mwambie tunafanyanga hivyo
Yes.
time ya kahawa.
So I'll not give you any ground rules. Do's and don'ts. There are no do's and don'ts in marriage. You set those do's and don'ts in your with your spouse, and you set them in your bedroom. Don't
Joseph,
ever. Eh?
nimeona umekuwa mwanafunzi mzuri. Sasa umetumia notes zangu za last meeting yetu.
So those do's and don'ts, you set them in the bedroom. Don't set them in the sitting room. There are reasons. There are things that you don't ask in the bedroom, and there are things you don't ask in the sitting room. For example, you don't remind your spouse to pay rent in the bedroom. If he has not paid rent, you remind him the sitting room in the dining room. Those two places. Once you get to the bedroom, there are serious things that has to be discussed there. Not rent, school fees.
Why do spouses need to be reminded to parent, by the way?
Sometimes,
I don't have the energy to keep reminding somebody. You know your
so-
responsibility.
no, sometimes you are very busy. So you just remind me, then I give you my
Mm,
ATM card. You go to the
mm.
ATM, you withdraw, and come and pay rent. Story short.
Let me tell you something funny, Jotham.
Yes,
I,
yes.
I've lived for so many years, and little do I know even how much rent do we pay. I don't bother myself because why should I remind somebody's son who took
Yes.
responsibilities to do that? Let them take over the responsibility. Anyway, I can see next week we have a very interesting conversation.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's not
You're
preempt.
laughing. It's the truth. Why should I know how much rent, or why should I keep engaging myself with so many small nitty-gritties? I don't engage
Mm,
him in the things that concerns nurturing the family and everything. No, he should also not engage me with his responsibility. Kila mtu
yeah.
afanye yake na afanye perfectly. We just sit down to compare notes.
Vile tu ye hajui ni nini iko jikoni, ndio vile wewe hujui vile rent inalipwa.
Kwanza hata nikamtuma. Hey,
Eh,
kitchen. Another day our nanny was away. Ay, it
utaipata.
was chaos.
Nikiingia kitchen kupata tu kijiko, lazima nitatoanisha vitu mingi ndio nipate kijiko. Yes,
Now
eh?
you see.
So sasa rule kama hiyo tunatengeneza kwa jikoni yangu, sitaki ukanyage huko. Na naheshimu hiyo. Bora nisikuja alafu niambiwe ati hakuna chakula. Hapana, hiyo sasa itakuwa juu siwezi jua kama imeisha, but sasa nafaa ajue chakula inahitajika. So now those are the things that we'll be discussing next week. Yeah. So with that, I want to appreciate for the effort you have put in for this session. It has been informing.
Mm.
One thing that I've done now, right away, I've deleted Candy Crush from my phone. Because I usually,
Self
uh,
sabotage mwenyewe.
yes, hiyo nimetoa Candy Crush kwa simu, imekuwa ikinisumbua. Huwa naamuka by saa 8, hapo hakunanga kelele, so nikiamuka nasoma ka kitabu, na sasa ni badala ya kusoma physical book nasoma audio book, alafu sasa ndio ni keep brain engaged, nacheza Candy Crush. So najipata nimecheza Candy Crush, ukiniuliza ni kitabu gani nimesoma nimesahau, so nimetoa hiyo. So that's how important this session has been. So next session now we'll be discussing those other good things. By the way, how many weeks do we have to go? We are almost ending.
Two or three more sessions.
Three sessions. Three sessions. Because next week will be week 8.
Lillian
When you
is
say
crying. Lillian, we have second cohort if you want to join.
when you said I felt that having the 10 weeks that was too long. I felt that was not fair. We ought to have done it a shorter period, but 10 weeks are just going like that. So I wish you a wonderful evening. May God bless you in whatever you touch on, and may God protect you throughout the week. So until we meet again on Tuesday, as we discuss matters of marriage and intimacy, emotional intimacy.
Bye bye. See you. I've already sent the slides in the group, so we will just join.
Mm.
Okay. See you.